Hello and welcome back to our journey through the Scriptures. Today we're diving into Deuteronomy chapters 21 and 22, and let me tell you, these chapters are packed with insights into the fabric of ancient Israelite society. It's a fascinating look at how their laws were designed to uphold justice, compassion, and order in daily life. Let's start with chapter 21. It opens with a really serious and unique situation. What to do when a body is found in a field and no one knows who the killer is. The law required the elders of the nearest town to perform a specific ceremony. They would take a heifer that had never been worked, bring it to a valley with running water, and break its neck. This wasn't a sacrifice, but a solemn public act. The elders would then wash their hands over the heifer and declare their innocence, asking God not to hold the community responsible for this unsolved crime. This shows us just how seriously they took the sanctity of human life and the collective responsibility of the community to maintain justice and purity. The chapter then shifts to address various family and social matters. It talks about what to do with a female captive from war. If an Israelite man wanted to marry her, he had to allow her a full month to mourn her parents. She would shave her head and trim her nails, symbolic acts of leaving her past life behind. This law provided a measure of dignity and protection for these vulnerable women, ensuring they weren't treated merely as spoils of war, but were given time and space before entering a new life. Next, we see rules about inheritance, specifically protecting the rights of the firstborn son, even if his mother was the less favored wife. This law prevented personal favoritism from disrupting the established social and economic order. Following that is the difficult passage about a rebellious son. If a son was persistently defiant, drunk, and gluttonous, and wouldn't listen to his parents, they could bring him to the town elders. This was a last resort for extreme, repeated behavior that threatened the family and community structure. It wasn't about a child having a bad day. It was about a pattern of rebellion that undermined the very core of their society. Moving into chapter 22, the theme of community care continues. It starts with a simple, practical instruction. If you see your neighbor's ox or sheep wandering off, you don't just ignore it. You have a duty to find its owner and return it. If you don't know the owner, you're to care for the animal until they come looking. This is about being a good neighbor, about actively looking out for each other's well-being and property. It's a foundational principle for a healthy, supportive community. The chapter then lists a series of laws that might seem a bit random at first, but they all point toward maintaining order and distinction. There are rules against mixing different kinds of things, like planting two types of seeds in a vineyard, plowing with an ox and a donkey together, or wearing clothing made of both wool and linen. These laws reminded the Israelites to respect the distinct categories God had created in the world. Similarly, the instruction for men and women not to wear each other's clothing was about maintaining the God-given distinctions between the sexes. Chapter 22 also includes building codes. It says that when you build a new house, you must build a parapet or a small wall around your roof. Why? For safety. People use their flat roofs as living spaces, so this law was a practical measure to prevent accidental falls. Again, it shows a deep concern for the preservation of life. The chapter concludes with more laws designed to protect social purity and justice, particularly within marriage, ensuring that accusations were handled fairly and that the integrity of families was upheld. So, what do we take away from all this? Deuteronomy 21 and 22 show us a society built on principles of justice, compassion, and order. From caring for the lost animal of a neighbor to ensuring the sanctity of life and the stability of the family, these laws were the practical, everyday application of loving God and loving your neighbor. It's a powerful reminder that our faith isn't just about big theological ideas. It's about how we live and treat one another, day in and day out. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore these rich chapters. If this was helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss our next study. See you next time.